Riggs, welcome back to the program. Nice to see you today. Bad water, hard water is very, very difficult for the scalp, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, and this is a breakthrough we've made where a luxury hotel chain, which we cannot disclose right now, has made a purchase commitment to put crystal pure water everywhere in the hotel, be it the showers, the kitchen faucets, you name it, and it's 200 plus rooms. It's a new opportunity for us really to help commercial buildings, apartment buildings, churches, what remains of the office buildings in the world, hotels, et cetera, to be just embracively, whole building water purification.
Let's talk about what your goal is currently.
Well, Ellis, you're right that we are built in layers, and that's really what we spent, more than 10 years and millions of dollars developing. First layer being our core technology, which we license to key partners, and it's very, very limited. It's primarily because we found that technology alone does not really accomplish change. You have to have a business model. The second layer is our custom fabrication factory in McKinney, Texas, near Dallas. They can build everything from $50,000 projects to $2 million plus. And then the third layer being the modular water systems product line, which is growing like that. And that another layer is corporate sales of highly standardized products. So for example, we'll talk about it some more, this pool preserver product, now this incoming whole commercial building water purification. These are all at the corporate level going to be standardized products. And then a layer above that is super exciting, which is we call water as a career.
Regarding the pool preserver, to actually watch an individual talk about it, and then there was some animation in there too that really explained it. I found that as a paid journalist here, I found that very moving, because I like to know that the companies I'm involved with, are actually doing what they say they're doing.
That machine that Ryan Kustra is now using to build his entrepreneurial career was originally built by the McKinney custom fabrication operation. So the technology stack, you might say, that we have is employed, and it's all of it relevant at all times.
How is this funded? I don't imagine that gentleman's investing in that particular unit as a new business owner, a former business owner that has perhaps been destroyed during COVID, looking for something else new to do. You don't necessarily have the capital to purchase one of these devices. So explain how that works.
These days, to get a lease, you got to have 2 years in business, and so many people are starting new businesses. So what do? That's where we have our rental program. That is the new model. It's kind of like what we call an Airbnb model, where it's being short-term rented out, very profitable. And what we're doing is we're building internal funding capability for this. So I've been talking about the amazing story of GM AC, now called GM Financial, which even today is running more than 10% profits, whereas the regular GM is actually now negative. And financing is a very, very profitable business. So we are adopting that by doing our own funding. Eventually, we want to bring in other people, other investors to fund these units. But we like being the finance company. We need to learn those lessons ourselves without some freaked out lender, going, what are you doing? I want to go in and seize the asset. We don't want that. We want to be able to control it ourselves. Number two, we want the revenue. As opposed to getting just a little piece as a broker, we want all of the revenue. So that's number two. Number three, we want the asset. Why do we want the asset? Because we have an ambition to get onto the NASDAQ. And getting onto the NASDAQ requires $4 million in assets. Bob's your uncle. So our goal here is to build an asset base, to build financing revenue, which is highly profitable, and also to work all the bugs and tweaks out of this rental program, which eventually I hope we will export to the world.
Okay, money has to come from somewhere. So my next question to you is, who's financing the GMAC aspect of your financing? So who's financing what you're financing?
Correct. So we have a corporate bond that we offer, and it's extremely advantageous for these times. in Thursday night's briefing, as you saw, I went through all the different ways you can invest these days and make no money or lose money. And it's a tough time, right? So we offer a double-digit return, annual yield, plus the ability to convert to stock when and if you want to. We really have a good funding system that is bringing capital in, and all we got to do is keep growing it. That's really what it's about.
Let's say I'm an accredited investor, and yet my daughter wants to invest in this company, and she's not. So how do we handle that?
Well. We actually have received approval from the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, for what's called a Regulation A offering. That's the kind of offering that people like Grant Cardone do, where anybody can put in, money. Our minimum is $500, and they get 10% per year paid monthly. And then a big upside at the end. If and when we decide to redeem it, it's our discretion, then we have to do 150%. So imagine you invest $1,000, it grows at the rate of $100 a year. 10 years later, you have $2,000. And then you get back, let's say at that point, we do decide to pay you back, you get, $1,500 back. So you actually have, $2,500 that you received back from your original investment. So that's quite exciting. And we're ramping up with an online marketing agency that's amazing team that has been came out of Facebook, and they're super insiders. They're going to ramp us up so that we believe we intend to raise $20 million in a period of a year. That will provide most certainly the capital needed for water as a career. And in the case of the Regulation A offering, it's very important for people to go to the offering circular, which is oc.gold/offering, and that will take them to the SEC circular, which is very important to read because the SEC wants to make sure that the small investors of the world don't get hurt, and full disclosure is essential. Same thing for Regulation D, which is the accredited investors. They should know that this is not a registered offering. SEC has not approved the offering, and of course, there's a risk. Now, you're right. We're working very hard to reduce the risk by making it a yield product, and then since 2018, we have not offered private stock to accredited investors because you don't know, right? It's better to be parked off to the side in a dividend flow and then go, oh, stock's taken off. I'm going to give up that dividend flow and turn it into shares, but you don't have to. And that's the beauty of this formula.
Briggs, it's always great to see you and speak with you. Thanks so much for joining me today on the program.
Thank you, Ellis.